Welcome to day 2 of Eurythmy exercises for everyone. I see a lot of amazing and talented people such as dancers, performers, artists, fitness, wellness people posting incredible stuff on Instagram. But not all of us can follow them so well. But I hope that my exercises are much easier and each of you can do at least some of them. That's one of the goals I started this video class demonstration, so each of you, no matter your age, can do Eurythmy. So even little children, I used to teach at lots of older schools and work from range of 3 years old and up to the high school students. So I'm pretty sure some of the exercises will be easier, some of them not. So take one step at a time and see how far you can go. So I'm still gonna read this meditative verse from Dr. Rudolf Steiner because we're still in the week of that verse. Into the inner life of man, the senses pour their treasure. The cosmic spirit finds itself reflected in the human eye, whose strength from it again must ever be renewed. Today I want to start again with E-R-O, but a different one. So we just put half of the body down, upper body, and straighten up into E position. Then with your feet, you jump into Ah position, and you bring your hands to your heart level, you build O, and then backwards. O goes down, Ah, and E, and we start over. E, Ah, O, and we'll let all three vowels sounds resonate. E, Ah, and O. I still wanted to remind you that I'm recovering after a knee surgery I had end of January, but as you can see, I'm standing on my own feet, no crutches. I still do wobble and limp, so my movements are not so gracious as I would love to yet. Let's review what we did yesterday. We started with a simple exercise called E-R-O. By E, we straighten up our body. By R, we went backwards with the body. By O, we leaned forwards with the body. Then we did working in space exercise when I stand in equal cross in the middle and walk 3 steps each direction. Forwards, then to the right, backwards, to the left, and each time come back to the center. Then I rotate my body 90 degrees to the right and did the exercise again, but my perspective was as if I was standing the very first time, and so on. Then after that we did 5-point star. Remember, we're human being and we connect head, feet and arms, and we did a balancing exercise. So that's a brief review from yesterday. Teaching Eurythmy, we do use several tools. The first one you can see is a copper rod. It's made out of copper, and this rod is hammered, so the surface is uneven and you can feel the structure. Same way we have a copper sphere as well. It's hammered, it has a uneven surface so you can feel and grasp it. Another tool is a wooden sphere, a bit bigger one. They have different sizes. Then famous beanbag we use a lot, especially with earlier grades. It could be different size, colors, a little bit different shape, and the weight. This one is a heavy one. Then we do use, or I do use, that kind of beanbag, a round one. And the last tool, it's a silk scarf. I use in a lot of classes it becomes a ball to toss and catch. So let your creativity fly. Well, I do not expect you all to have any of those tools, so be creative, I said yesterday. If you have a pet, you can use a pet toy, a bigger one. This is one option, it's not a perfect one. This one may be better to use because I do have a dog, so I have the toys. And if you have an apple or orange, use that too. So be creative, and that's how you can use. If you know another rhyme, please use another. So long it's short, short, long. So let's do things more complicated. Same thing, short, short, long, but this time I'm gonna add a jump. So I'm gonna do short, short, long, and I do jump with a long. Short, short, long, short, short, long, short, short, long. So after that, let's do differently. So jump on the short, short, and stand still on the long one. Put in our right hand, standing straight and strong on our feet. And we're gonna jump on first two short. Short, short, long. Short, short, long. Short, short, long. Short, short, long. Once again, make sure that your jumps are really short jumps, not so high, and that beanbag does not fly above your head, and you keep your body upright. One very important thing during Eurythmy is what we wear. It's important to have comfortable wear so you are able to move freely, raise your hands and go down. As well, do open your feet wide. And the most important thing is the footwear. You cannot do it barefoot. Socks on the wooden floor won't work either because you can't slip. Safety is very important. I do have, of course, Eurythmy slippers. If you have something like a slippers, please wear them, or something that goes around your foot and supports your heel and is not slippery. If you have wooden floor, if you have carpet, I guess you can do it in socks. Low carpet, not a long carpet, because it's too soft. So that's important that your environment is safe while you're doing Eurythmy. Today we're gonna start with the beanbag. So a few things to start. Very important that we stand upright. The weight balance equally on your right and your left foot. When we're gonna do this exercise, important to observe I'm gonna do what you should not do. Swinging with your shoulders or even with your head. And when we toss the beanbag, so make sure it doesn't go your head up following and then toss it that high. So important that you toss the beanbag in your eye level, maybe where your head ends, so I can see without having to move my head up and down. So this is important to observe. I'm sure it's not gonna happen from the first attempt, but try a few times and see what your body is doing. So first we're gonna start with very simple, just tossing a beanbag from one hand into another. I'm standing straight, my body is upright. All I have to use right now are my hands. And of course I'm watching what's happening. So this is the first one. Important thing, just to feel the polarity between my left and my right. So we established that. Next step, we're gonna add a little rhythm. And I'm gonna start with short, short, long rhythm. And I like always to add a melody if I can, or a rhyme. In this case, I'm gonna use a verse. Here it goes. Brave and true, I will be Each good deed sets me free. If you have another rhyme, please feel free to use, but it's a good start to do this simple rhyme, and make sure you're not swinging with your body or following the beanbag, and do not toss it too high. Today I want to introduce you to a new form, and this is figure 8 or lemniscate. We all do know how figure 8 looks. So these are two figures 8. They are pretty much the same. One is equally and one is the bottom part a bit smaller s, a top one. So the cross or a dot, that's where you are, and the arrow where you end up. So it means you're going this way around there. So to begin, you stand on the bottom of the figure 8, or it's in front of you. If you need to draw with your hand, use that. So you go to the right, crossing point, to the left on the top, and go backwards to the right, crossing point, to the left, back where you are. So let's try to move it. I go to the left crossing point, on the top, go back into the crossing point, and to the left, back. I don't know if many of you could see what I did. I incorporated the short, long rhythm steps. So what we did before was beanbag, short, long. Now we transfer that into the legs. So I start with my right foot. I do short, long. I do long cross, and then I end up in the center of the figure 8. And I'm gonna do short with my left cross over my right foot. I'm on the top. Then I go short, long cross, and again short, long cross. Still, for me, it's very hard to do due to my knee, but I do my best. So let's do one more time. It's short cross, short cross, short cross, short cross. So that's the one way to do it, or you just can walk it through. Just choose what is simpler for you to do. And very important in this, as other exercises, that I keep my body upright and gaze straight forward. After we finish doing figure 8 in front of us, let's try to do the figure 8 on the side. Here's another form, so you're gonna choose which one you like. So you see the cross, that's where you are, where you go, and the arrow shows where you end up. So this time the figure 8 is on your right. But first I go backwards to the right, forwards, and then to the left, backwards, and forwards to the left, and I complete figure 8. I could apply the same short, long this way. It's gonna be short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long. Third variation of figure 8 is that you are in the middle of the crossing point. See, that's the crossing point. So we stand there, and you go first the top part, the bottom part. So this time I'm in the center of the figure 8. So first I'm gonna go over my right forwards, the first part of figure 8. Go back to the crossing point where I am, and I go backwards over right, to the left, and come here. So let's try to do it together. I go first part, the top part of figure 8, come back to the center, and then I go the second part of figure 8, backwards, come back to the center. Let's try to do one more time in a flowing motion, bows, and goes forwards, back to the center, goes backwards, back to the center. Fourth variation and final for today of the figure 8 form is that we combine them both. So we're in the middle, looks like a little flower. So we're gonna start this sideways one first, and go up to the top one, and finish in the middle. Now we're putting them both together. I'm in the middle, the first figure 8 that lies sideways. So I go the top part to the right and come back to the center. Then I go the bottom part to the left, around to the center. From there I go directly into the figure 8 in the front of me, to the top part, back to the center, and behind me, back to the center. Now try to do one more time. So first figure 8 is on our sides, and the second one is in front and in the back of us. Center, back to the center. Now going to the front one, back to the center,